It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live. Make sure you get the likes up as you enter. What's the topic of discussion? Well, we're talking about how black content creators are creating anti-black content for a white audience. Oh, it's a growing trend. They sold out for clout, but the truth exposes them. I was reacting to a very interesting video before we experienced some technical issues, so I'm just going to reiterate. I was checking out O'Shea Duke Jackson, and he did a video revealing that the Hodge twins wanted to be invited to an all-white town. And the leadership said, God bless the Hodge twins, but no, not invited. Now, in case y'all are unfamiliar with the Hodge twins, they've been doing a lot of shucking, jiving, bootlicking, a lot of just turncoat activity, a lot of buffooning. And it's not just them. You got Anton Daniels, you got Brandon Tatum, Officer Tate. I mean, you got a host of these individuals who make anti-black content for a white audience. Now, listen, in case you're new to Nubreed Global Truth platform, let me just be very clear about this. I am totally against all racism. All racism. But I really focus in on anti-black racism because I got more invested in that because, of course, you know, I'm from the diaspora. A little inclusion is healthy for us. It really is. And, you know, I want to clear up some of the misnomers that's out there, because you got people like Anton Daniels who would say that, you know, he's just trying to hold black people accountable. That's one of his talking points. And the truth of the matter is, you making videos exploiting black degeneracy is not holding black people accountable. And if it is, explain how. How could a person, a social media personality, a YouTuber, a content creator, claim they're holding somebody accountable by making videos about them? You're not the judge nor the jury. What you're actually doing is you're exploiting our people. Because as I said before, you can go to any demographic of people, any nation of people, and you can pick out the degenerates within their nationality. You can highlight them. You can make a world star hip hop a shade room. You can make all of these various sites a TMZ. And if you could just use the media to hone in on these specific people and all the injustices, all the indecency, all of the wickedness that they may have, then 9 times out of 10, people are going to believe that that's the problem. If that's what you pump through the airwaves, and remember, the airwaves belong to who? Satan. When the Bible says the prince of the airwave, the prince of the air rather, It's talking about the airwaves, the media, the television, social media. It's Satan's number one tool. And what are they doing with it right now? They're using it to push black degeneracy. They're making the whole world believe that black people are the problem. So much so that in Washington, D.C. right now, you got the National Guards and military patrolling neighborhoods, which is a complete violation of our constitutional rights, civil rights. It's just a shame. But nonetheless, people are okay with that. Why? Because you had to incrementally chip away at the minds of the people into accepting that. Now, if you can make people believe black people are the problem, then once military start engaging them, then you won't have a problem with that. See, you've been desensitized, and pretty soon you're going to be desensitized to seeing military in your city. Now, but anyway, with all of that being said, a lot of these content creators who make anti-black content are trying to get a white audience. And, you know, for the life of me, if there's a black audience that desire to see that, I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure birds of a feather flock together. But they're beginning to expose who they really are. And no matter how many pats on the back that some of them have gotten, when that guy who runs the all-white town told the Hodge twins, no, we love y'all, but nah. Or God bless Hodge twins, but nah, you're not invited. That shows you that they don't really think nothing of you. You're just a tool being used. You're just someone that is being used to make our people look bad. And all you race traders, turncoats, man, look. Man, like when the Bible tells us that in the last days, everybody will gravitate towards their tribe, y'all gonna be some nomads out here. Y'all gonna be some nomads. Because you done already turned on your people. Yep, let me see. Real 80 says Nick Fuentes told Candace Owens that she is a token white. Whites no longer need. Exactly. And I seen that, and she actually agreed. He had her mind in a web. She actually agreed with that. And she's right. I mean, Nick is right when it comes to that. Once they're done with you, they're going to disregard you. They don't have any love for you. The validation that people are, you know, searching for, it's going to go non and void. Because when this world goes the direction it seems to be going, listen, y'all going to be all by yourselves with this. Y'all going to be all by yourselves with this. And then you have certain creators that's actually came out just to show y'all how crazy it is. You got creators that will speak on situations that's regarding our people, but when the shoe is on the other foot, they're completely silent. They're completely silent. And it's crazy because they become such pawns. Nobody has to show up to their door. The CIA, FBI don't have to show up to their door to make them defend white supremacy. It's automatic. It's automatic. They've been programming. A lot of the times it's these weirdos who never really had any true, real engagement with our people. A lot of these people never really had any real engagement with Black America. Let me see. Somebody says, Nubreed is a half stepper. He really ain't about that Torah life. I'm sorry you feel that way. Maybe you should concern yourself with your own salvation, your own life. But let me say this, and I want to put this out here because, yes, I represent foundational Black Americans. I represent Israel. And when I say Israel, I'm talking about the true biblical Israelites. Hold on. And I want to explain how I became what some would call an Israelite foundational Black American hybrid, and why. Hold on. First of all, FBA is a grassroots movement with no leader. And shout out all the brothers who are representing FBA, because that's a step in the right direction from where I'm standing, from what I see. That's a step in the right direction because FBAs are on code. Now, I believe historically, my identity is an Israelite, according to the Bible. Now, FBA is a lineage. We're talking about people who were here, the foundational people who were here. And so people, when it comes to these grassroots movements and when people are really stating claim to who they are, people have an issue with that because they don't want our people delineating. They don't want our people coming together collectively and being on one accord when it comes to who is going to have access. They don't want us to have any inclusion whatsoever, any unity whatsoever. And being an individual who knows my history, right? Understanding that we are God's people, understanding that we are the foundation of it all. And being an FBA is not about religion, because I want y'all to hear me clearly, we are the origin to all world religions. Hold that for a second. Breathe. What? FBA ain't about religion. Because why? We are the origin for all world religions. So I can be an Israelite and still be a foundational Black American. Just like the next person can represent the Nation of Islam, but still he believes in his lineage as a foundational Black American, instead of being called an African American, being placed in a category where you're not asking for your tangibles because you're allowing other people, anybody who gets the title minority slapped on them, you're allowing them to pretty much eat off your plate, stake claim to your plight, grab hold of your inheritance. So it's just about people in America, born and raised Black Americans, coming together on one accord and being on code. It's a very simple concept, but effective. Very simple, but effective. And, there is a lot of brothers and sisters who do support Tariq Nasheed and support others who are speaking truth. But, they always trying to slap some leader on something. No, this is a grassroots movement, and that's why it's gaining so much traction and it's having the power that it's been having. It's been very effective because a lot of people who are trying to exploit us, they're getting shut down. They're getting shut down. Let me see. Somebody says, I get you are for your people, FBA, but so blindly that you don't even admit the fault of problems of your people today. Jesus made his what? Jesus made his, I don't know what that word is at the end you got. I don't know what you were trying to say. But again, every nation of people have problems. Every nation of people have problems. And if we wanted to compare and contrast, if we really wanted to do that historically, as well as in modern times, I can show you who the real savages are very much easily. But we don't need to do that right now. We'll save that. Let me see. Yep, that's right. There are plenty of foundational Black Americans we don't agree with. Doesn't make us any less foundational Black Americans. Exactly. But you know what they hate is to see us delineate. They hate us to see us building on what we agree on. They hate to see that. They hate to see any of our people coming together. But these very same people love to exploit our people. They love it. And it's getting to the point where the content is just trash. It's garbage. It's garbage. That's all you see these people pumping out. Black person in Popeyes, especially them Hodge twins. I mean, it's horrible. It's like, where did you dumpster dive to get this trash content from? Where did you get that? Nubreed, you need to put out videos that hold Black people accountable. How is me making a video gonna hold somebody accountable? Please, somebody explain that to me. How me making a video gonna hold somebody accountable? and they want their audience to believe that's what they're doing. No, that's not what you're doing. You're making content for a white audience so they can sit back and be like, ha 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 ha, look at those niggers. And I said niggers with an A. They funny about that on here. They're such animals. Like, you do realize you're playing into the hands of your adversary, right? You do realize that, right? You want to be TMZ. You want to be World Star that bad. You do realize you're just a peon. And I'm talking to your damn Anton Daniels, and I'm talking to your Hodge twins. I'm talking to your Officer Tatums. Y'all do realize that the young generation is not feeling y'all at all. I just got put on to a few young cats, and they are cooking y'all. I mean, it's very refreshing to see that the youth is on point. They're not going for it. I love to see it. I love to see it. They can see y'all from a mile away. They're educated. They listen. It's just not working. Yeah, that backyard boogie dumpster trash content. I'm like, where did you even find this? And it's a circus. It's a circus, man. And I had this one creator. I'm gonna tell y'all, what do you think one of the most disgusting things you can do while you're at odds with a person. This person, right? I can't I can't with these people. This person took advantage of someone's death. A brother was killed by a YN. I mean, the YN dragged him out of car. I don't know if he was carjacking him or what, shot him in the head. It's a very unfortunate situation, sad situation. This creator used this person's death to take shots at me. Where's Nubreed talking about this? So let me get this right. This man dies. And this person is so sick in the mind. They thought it was cool. And to try to throw shots at another creator. And I'm telling you, this is how their minds is wired. That's low. That's low. But we don't, here's the thing. I mean, here's the thing. If these creators are doing a good job of holding black people accountable, what do they need me to speak about it for? Ain't their videos holding them accountable? Even though they're not no judge, they're not no jury, they're not getting nobody sent up top, they're not getting, nothing's happening behind them running their mouths. They're just exploiting people. I don't see the same creators talking about where young black boys are becoming doctors, graduating with master's degrees. I don't see none of that. Yeah. I mean, this person literally, I'm gonna repeat this. A YN runs up on a brother while he was streaming live, shoots him, kills him. This creator uses that person's death to throw shots at me. And I just believe that's low. That's so low. That's disgusting. And this is the type of savagery they do. That's savage to me. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And look, if we were to see every day positive images of our people every day, this person just got a master's, the inventor's invention of corporation, this young black inventor, if y'all were to see that every day in the media, how would you think about your people? Opposed to seeing World Star and Shade Room and TMZ, and how do you think you would feel? I tell you this much, you would think of your people a whole lot different. Yeah, that would be absolutely refreshing, but you don't get to see that because you have so many creators who just geeked up to sell their soul. They walking around with a price tag. They walking around with a price tag and they are for sale. They're blowing dog whistles to anybody who will come buy their soul. Anybody who would give them the algorithm. Anybody who would give them a sponsorship. And you know, just to make these people comfortable with their own racism. Anything to make middle America happy. I just think it's sad. I think it's sad. What y'all think about that? I think it's sad. And when this all comes falling down, Man, it's not going to be looking too good for these individuals. It's really not. Yeah, somebody says it's diabolical. Right. Telling you. Somebody said it will motivate me to do better. Yeah, for real. Yup, that's right. That's right. 3, the flaws of ethnic people, black people specifically, have been put in the spotlight for a long time. As you said, everyone has flaws. So why is it people have so much of an appetite to only hear about that? That's a great question. And my answer is because they're sick. They're sick. Knowing whence we came, knowing how far we fell, knowing how morally degraded we have become based on our captivity and based on what we've been through, not to harp on those things because, those people, they don't want to hear that. They get fatigued just hearing about it because them hearing about the atrocities we faced, they feel guilt in their subconscious minds, and they hate that. But somewhere in the middle of their sick minds, they actually love to see us down. If we make up only what 13% of America, why are we on the front page every day? We make up 13% of America. Why is the whole world paying attention to us every single day? Why they can't seem to leave us alone? Think about that. How could this little 12% of the country be on mainstream media every day? Because though we be few in number, man, we demand attention, even when we're not trying to get it. And yeah, they're very sick spiritually. I personally, I don't look for that type of content. I don't look for that type of content. I don't care to see our people in their worst possible ways, right? I don't look for that. I think that's sick that people put that out and try, and they claim that they're, and like 3 said, we've been put, listen, this goes back to the minstrel show. This goes back to the minstrel show. When they would throw black face paint on us and make us look crazy, and they would have different caricatures of us. They would have the sapphire, the mammy, the lazy guy, the clown, this one, that. I mean, look, middle America been loving that type of material. When you guys get on social media and you use your platforms to exploit that, you are a pawn. make no mistake about it. You're a pawn. You are a pawn. You're not doing anything. You're not holding no one accountable. Shut up. I'm just holding black people accountable. I'm gonna make this video about this black guy in Popeyes. I'm gonna make this. It's like, shut up. Shut up. Now, one day, you're going to have to deal with life for what you created around you. Yeah, the Mandingo, the Brute. These caricatures that they always put up in front of us. They've done the same thing over and over. Even when it comes to film casting, they give us the same type of characters. Why? To perpetuate negative stereotypes. It should be obvious. These content creators aren't doing anything that is like, that's new. What they're doing is they're cooning. Just no other way to put it. You are a cog in the web. You are a pawn. You are a useful idiot. That's it. That's it. Hodge twins, they had the possibility to break into the mainstream off their talent alone, but they decided to go into this strong right conservative stuff and just, appease white supremacy. And look, you know what I like about a lot of the young cats coming out that's speaking on this stuff? And shout out to them, because it gives me hope for a better tomorrow that they're going to be on point. They don't really have no political affiliations like that. They just know when something is some BS. They just know that they're not rocking with that type of material. They just know that what people put out on social media does not accurately describe Black America. It doesn't. They know that the media box, the prince of the airwaves, Satan, is putting out a negative image. That's why we have the image reclamation movement, man. Hashtag not for sale. Hashtag not for sale. Somebody said, what is happening with World Star Good Old Boy Network? Yeah, they're going to have their day, man. They're going to have their day. All of those different, and I'm going to tell y'all like this, a lot of these different platforms, they're ran by CIA. Yeah, they ran by CIA. There's a program to destabilize our nation through psychological warfare. That's why they're able to, that's why they started off showing you fights. You know, they want a trauma-based, fear-based society. You know, people was fighting, yelling World Star. They wanted you to see Willie Lynch play out. They use these media platforms to let you see Willie Lynch play out. The black, what you call black on black crime. Black on black crime actually doesn't exist. Crime is crime. There's no such thing as black on black crime. Crime is crime. When Asians commit crimes against each other, we call it a good kung fu flick. A good kung fu flick. Tongue twister. A good karate movie. When whites commit crime on each other, we call it a good mob flick. When it's white on white crime, listen, what does America do? We sensationalize that stuff. We love John Gotti, and we love, hell, YT America even loves serial killers. Like, let's stop it. We still talking about Jeffrey Dahmer in 2025. They got documentaries all over Netflix about about Jeffrey Dahmer and the butcher and all of it. Crime is crime. Crime is crime is what I'm trying to explain. And actually, Black America, there is no huge black crime syndicates. There is no widespread, highly organized, highly sophisticated black crime syndicate in America at all. There doesn't exist. Crime is crime. And I was being facetious, joking about the movies, but I just wanted to point out how they sensationalize any other demographic. It's just looked at a certain way. But when it's our people, oh, this black on black crime, we got to go move the National Guards in to show these people how to live. Nah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying these people's weak talking points either. Not especially on social media. It's weak talking points. But man, look, I don't want to stream live real long. I just wanted to come through, chop it up with y'all, man. I got more material coming. If y'all like these nighttime streams, do me a solid. And, you know, comment down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I got more coming, of course. I like to do these time from time. But y'all have a good one, man. Be blessed out there. Peace.